Hi, everyone. Oh, you want to say hi? Okay. I don't know if you heard the purring, but Bitchy Boo Boo says hi. AKA Xena. So I wanted to get on here real quick because I just got back from therapy. I did my first EMDR session. It was weird. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So I go in there and Tia reviews the notes and stuff that she took from our last one-on-one prior to beginning the EMDR stuff. And so she rereads that. I don't know why. I was thinking to myself, I remember all of this stuff. I just said it not that long ago, but if you must read from your notes out loud, go ahead. And so she did that, and I just sat there, and then she was setting up the stuff, explaining to me what the components do. So those of you who have done EMDR or maybe administer it yourself, if you're a therapist, you know what that is. For the other people, don't go off of how I describe this because it's not the best source of information. It's just this light bar. It's horizontal, and there's a light that goes from one side of the bar to the other, and you pretty much have to just follow it with your eyes. And then there's these other things that they're called, is it clappers? Snappers? Clippers? I don't know. It's these two little balls, these oval things. You hold one in each hand. It's attached, it's got a wire. It's attached to the machine thing. And then it regularly does buzzing, bzz, 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 and you can feel that in your hands. And so she's showing me this, and I'm like, wait a minute, so you mean I have to sit here and try to think about shit and look at some light and also feel some shit buzzing in my hands? That's so distracting. And so I told her, I can do one, but not both. So we figured out that the following the light with my eye was the best option, because I can't hold things that are just randomly buzzing like that, because all I would do is be focused on the sensation of the buzz. So we decided on the light. So she had set the light up, and so she's in her chair. Then the light bar is kind of in between us, and I'm on the couch. And I asked so many questions prior to starting, to the point where I was like, oh, I wonder if other people ask questions like I do. So I asked her, do other people ask these kinds of questions? And she's like, well, yeah, there's people that definitely have lots of questions. Yours are really detailed. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, well, I want to know what I'm getting myself into. So if I have all of the information up front, then I know what to expect. And I had always heard of EMDR throughout the years. I didn't know what it all entailed. I kind of did, but not really. I don't know. I knew there was a light thing involved, and lots of people have said that it helped them. So anyways, so she asked me to pick a memory that wasn't such a good one, and to kind of stick with it. And so I did. And then you're just supposed to have the memory in your head and follow the light for 35, 40 seconds. And she's just taking notes and watching to make sure that my eyes are actually following the light, that I'm doing it properly. The first few times when she was, because you're supposed to, sorry for going back and forth, you follow the light, you think about the bad thing or whatever, and then the light stops, and you're supposed to be well, this came up, wherever your brain goes, free association. And the first few times my brain didn't really go anywhere. I was just oh my God, she's staring at me while my eyes are following this fucking light, and my eyes are following this fucking light. And every time it goes off to the left, I see her face staring at me for a brief second, and then I have to follow the light again. Oh my God. And then I'm hearing somebody through the wall on the other side of the wall in their office, and I'm hearing the cars outside, and I'm like, how the fuck is this even possible? Staying focused on this damn light. So the first few times I was definitely overanalyzing it, this is weird. I don't like that she's staring at me like this. And I told her that, and she's like, it's not, I'm only observing you to make sure that your eyes are following the light so that your brain's able to process stuff. the way that it's designed to with EMDR. And so after a few times of like nothing new coming up other than the not so good memory, I was just like, I told myself, I was like, just fucking do it. Just do it. Because otherwise she's going to keep stopping it and you're going to be like, nothing came up, nothing came up. And it's not like I was going to lie and say that something came up if it didn't, but I knew that, you know, like therapy's not cheap. I need to take advantage of this shit and not just spend $150 for an hour sitting there like wondering what a light is going to do as I follow it with my eyes. So anyways, I had the memory and it actually wasn't anything bad. Like I could have picked a memory from childhood. Anything that brought me like the feeling as though like I'm not good enough, or because I have that feeling or that belief kind of like, I mean, I do believe that, but then I also don't because I know that's not true, but I have both of those beliefs and I don't know, like that this seems so weird to me. But anyways, so I had a recent memory of like feeling like I'm not good enough and I went with that. And then after the 30 seconds of the light, Tia's like, okay, take a deep breath. And after like 5 of those, I was like, can you stop saying that? Because I'm not taking deep breaths. Like, I don't feel like I just went into like this fucking memory and disassociated or something. Like, I'm still right here in the room. I know what's going on and I don't feel anxious or anything. So I was definitely like intellectualizing it, I think, a bit. But she did stop asking me to breathe because I'm just like, just don't. I'm not going to take a big breath. I don't feel like I need to. And then so as soon as the light would stop, I would tell her, okay, this came up. And it's so fucking weird where your mind takes you. It's so weird. So I started with something recent. It was something between Alicia and I. It was basically, I made an assumption about her behavior that was wrong. And I made it because I didn't ask for clarification. I just went off of whatever assumption I had in my mind. And so that's the memory I started with. And then it led to the cafeteria at school when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade. And so like all we're doing is I'm just talking about like, I'm just saying this is what came up. And then I follow the light. And then this is what came up. And she jots it down. And there's like no processing, which is very strange for me. I'm just supposed to tell you what's popping up and then go back into like my head and follow this light. Like, I don't know, there's a lot going on. But it was so fascinating because, you know, I'm trying not to sit there and think, well, how did that go to like the cafeteria? Like, where did that come from? And then all of a sudden, like I'm in the kitchen part of the cafeteria. And I remember my mom worked at the school. Like she did all kinds of shit. She was like on that parent teacher shit. She had snack tables during lunchtime at the cafeteria, which I think was just to keep an eye on me, but I don't know, and get paid for it. But there was this one day where there was a bunch of kids, myself included, in the kitchen making sandwiches, which was going to be like that day's lunch or something. And my mom was there showing us how to make the sandwiches. And then I remember like a cash register and I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. It's not like it was real money. It was whatever, I don't know, cards or something, or I don't know. It was like years ago. This is like late 80s, early 90s. So it's not like they were making kids handle money, but what'd you say? Oh, I'm busy. Sorry. That was bitchy boo boo, aka Xena. Anyways, I actually did not lose my train of thought this time. So I don't know why, like, I had to learn how to do the cash register, even though there was no real money. I don't know. But I remember not knowing how to figure it out, no matter how many times my mom showed me, and then she was getting frustrated, and I was like, that's weird. Like, obviously, you know, that would probably lead to the feeling of, like, you know, not good enough. Oh, sorry, the cat's playing with a toy. So yeah, but then after that, the next random thing my brain latched onto was, do you guys remember when I was talking about that time when I was a kid and we went to Diamond Head in Hawaii and we were like halfway up the mountain and I had the thought of like pushing my mother off? I really struggled with that. really, really struggled with that. I remember thinking, I really, really want to do this because this will make all of my problems go away, because she was the epitome. She was my problem. And then I also was wrestling with, I know I'm not supposed to do that. You can't really like go killing your mom. So this thing popped into my head. Now, this is so cool and so weird. What happened that I have forgotten about was when we got to the top of the mountain and I never ended up pushing her off, I was like, oh, that sucks. And we had such a long way to go to get down. I really had to go to the bathroom. There was nowhere to go up there. And I just pissed myself on purpose. Now remember, like, we're in Hawaii. I've talked about me being there junior high-ish age. So what is that, like 12? 11 or 12? Yeah, I was like 11 or 12, pissing my fucking pants at the top of Diamond Head because my mom, being the helicopter parent that she was, always had to have her eye on us. Me more so, because apparently I like to get into shit that my brother didn't, at least according to her. So I knew that bitch was going to have me walk in front of her on the way down that mountain, and the wind was going to be coming in our faces. So all the way down that mountain, my mom got a big old whiff of pee just with every step. She just was having to either smell or inhale my urine particles, because that's what I did. And that was the highlight of the fucking trip. And I told Tia that, and she started laughing. I was like, how did I forget the highlight of Diamond Head was pissing myself and making my mother smell my fucking pee on the way down the mountain? Like, how did I forget that? That was so weird. Like, my mind was just stuck on the fact that I wanted to murder her. Murder my mother, that I forgot that I pissed and was able to get back at her anyways. I don't know. It was just like, that was so random. And so interesting that just suddenly came up, because then I'm like, well, how does the brain suppress things like this? Like, that's so cool. But also, what else has my brain been suppressing from me? I don't know if I want to find that out. But apparently it's supposed to kind of help with like changing ultimately your perspective on, you know, you, like, I am good enough and I don't have to feel like I'm not. And it takes a lot of work, and the work I've done up to this point, all the years I've been in therapy, I still have this belief. It is that strong. And so I guess, that's why Tia wanted to try EMDR to see if it could help me kind of, detach myself a bit from that view, because it's hard. It's easy for me to sit here and say like, yeah, I know I'm good enough. There's nothing wrong with me. Like, I know this and I believe this in this moment, but when something happens and it takes me out of this way of feeling and thinking, and I just feel like not good at all, then it doesn't matter what kind of truth you put in front of me, no matter what kind of evidence that truth has, I don't care. Like, my brain is just going to believe that I'm just a piece of shit. And while that has gotten a bit better over the years, I really need to make this go away, because you know, like, it always like lingers in the back of your mind when you're doing stuff like, oh, you didn't do that good enough, or, oh, you know, like, at least for me, you know, I know I have those thoughts, and like sometimes I'm aware that I'm having them and then I change them, and then oftentimes I'm just not aware that I'm having them until I'm in a bad mood or something. I don't know. But EMDR is fucking weird, but I guess not so bad. And next time we're going to do the whole light thing again. And I guess I'll just go where my brain tells me to go. But it's just very strange to sit there and not process through things that are coming up, just reporting them like, oh, this is what came up, and she's writing it down, like, because, you know, you're not really supposed to process like normal therapy. I don't know. All I know is like, I have the sense that it's going to help me. I just don't know how to make sense of that in my mind, because I don't understand like the neuroscience behind it. I don't know what's happening in my brain that is making processing easier with like following a light. And I've tried reading up on this stuff. I just don't understand it. Like, I can't wrap my mind around that at all. But I don't know. Maybe if you've thought about trying it, it's not so bad. And it took about 15-20 minutes for me to get over the fact that I was being stared at. Oh, hello. Oh, it's my soul kitty. Oh, you want some treats? Okay, well, I'm going to end this episode. Thank you for listening. And if any of you guys out there have done EMDR and are maybe on the other side of it, I would love to see like an email. Like, you don't have to give me like a whole story, but like, just how did it help you? What are some of the biggest things you've noticed since you've done EMDR? And then, what else was I going to say? I thought there was like something else I was going to ask. Oh, I don't remember. I guess that was just it. I was going to ask, is there anybody out there that, knows if EMDR, like, I don't even know why I'm asking this, because I know there's really not a whole lot of research done with like adult autism, but I want to know, like, oh wait, the thought left me. Oh shit. Oh no, there it goes. I want to know, like, EMDR and autism. Does EMDR help autistic people more than it doesn't? Is it a valid form of like therapy? I mean, of course it's valid, but like what I mean is it like particularly helpful for autistic people? Does it not matter? I guess I just asked this because I was in there just thinking about doing it and thinking about the fact that like I'm being watched, and like I don't know that I'm going to not think that the next time. And I know that that's an autistic thing because I'm just trying to like, I don't like being observed. I want to know what's going to happen. I have no information, so this is not educational. This is just me sharing my experience, and I would enjoy some information if you guys have any to provide. And I feel like I'm repeating myself now. So out of a 10, I guess I'm gonna give EMDR a 7 because I like 7s, and that's all I've got. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.